Hello. Just detaching all these cables. And welcome to this transmission about how to activate your own light language, the language of the soul. This is the focus on today's transmission. And it's not going to be like any other light language Q&As or transmissions you've heard me perhaps talk about light language many times, because this is my area of specialism. I speak multiple galactic and terrestrial light languages. But today we're going to talk about a special kind of language. We're going to be talking about a light language of your soul. I'm going to put a big banner, light language of your soul. So let me know if I'm audible, if you can hear me, if you can see me, and let's get ready for this. Today it's a really different subject and different slant on light language of the soul. What's the difference between light language of the soul and galactic languages? How to activate the language of the soul? Has every person got a light language? That's another thing. This transmission has been inspired by a question from one of my students, Catherine, who was wondering if it's possible for a person not to have a light language, because majority of my students activate light language literally on day one, but Catherine's been struggling, and she was told by someone that the type of the soul that she is a bit different because the blueprinter and they incarnate in special times. Maybe this is why you don't have any languages. And yes, it's true that not everybody will have an ability to activate galactic languages, such as Arcturian or Pleiadian or Sirian or Andromedan or any other galactic races. However, every person has a soul, and every soul has a unique song. And whether you can activate one of the galactic languages or perhaps language of one of the Earth civilizations, such as Lemuria or Atlantis, is determined by your soul history. So in case of Catherine, yes, if she hasn't been incarnated as an Arcturian or as a Pleiadian, it is impossible for her to activate Arcturian or Pleiadian. It's like trying to tap into a memory that's not there. You would have to make it up, because light language comes from a memory of languages that your soul has spoken in your previous incarnations. So if you speak Pleiadian, it means that you've had an incarnation as a Pleiadian. If you speak Arcturian, it means that your soul had an incarnation as this face, and so on and so forth. However, even if you've never been incarnated anywhere, this is your very first soul's incarnation. Even if you've never come through any galactic races, if you've never been a Lemurian, or if you've never even had any terrestrial lives, brand new soul, just created at source, bang, here it comes into this lifetime. I'm yet to meet one like that. I haven't met a brand new soul just yet. But if I do, I still know that this person has a language available. You see, sound is a part of how we create reality. And this is something we forget. So let me say that again. Sound is how we can create reality. Look at the Bible, Jewish or Christian Bible. For those of you who have grown up in either any of the Christian religions or Jewish religion, you will know that the description of the creation of the universe is God speaks, and so it is. You know, let there be light, and so there is light. Let there be waters, and there are waters, or whatever. We have the same divine power within us, because no matter what your religious beliefs are, and I'm not a religious person, I'm a sovereign human being. I don't subscribe to any particular faith. However, I do believe that there is a divine part of us, and that's our soul. And that soul is a fractal of God's consciousness. And that soul has the same divine ability to speak things into existence, whether it's using a language of the very incarnation that this soul is experiencing, such as I'm speaking English now. It's not even my first language. I'm Polish originally, but I'm speaking English now, and I can call things into existence with the power of my intention in this English language. However, when you connect to your higher self, and when you start channeling your soul, your higher self, then this is so much more powerful than any of the human languages. There's such energy in this language that's beyond the human understanding. And I don't know if you've ever experienced any of the regular light language transmissions of, let's say, Arcturian or Pleiadian, or maybe some people don't even know what they channel. But if you've experienced a light language transmission and it had an effect on your body, you perhaps felt chills or perhaps felt some kind of body reaction, let me know in the comments that, yes, we know what kind of power it has. Well, your soul has all these powers combined. So your soul is more than any incarnation. And just imagine that. Take it in for a second. If you don't believe in this divine potential, this divine part of you, just think about it for a second. Your soul, your higher self, is that iteration of you who has been through all these incarnations, whether it was as a Galactic Races, whether it was as any of the human experiences. And that soul has all of these divine gifts available, all of these experiences. That's all you. So if you think that, let's say you've experienced perhaps even one of my own galactic activations and you felt extremely powerful, you've been knocked to sleep, that happens as well. I've recently even done a sleep transmission Lemurian. Well, what power is the language of your soul that encompasses all of its powers? So this is absolutely incredibly powerful, the language of your soul. And this is something that I believe everybody should tap into, and not just to the language, but actually to the power of your own soul. Because when you integrate all of these iterations of you, this is where the sheer power absolutely begins. And I'm just going to catch up with some of your comments and questions, but we're going to get back to the light language of the soul and how to activate your own light language. But let me just answer some comments that appeared here. Okay, so someone said, I'm a Lyran, Pleiadian, and Orion starseed. Would those lives be my higher self? All of the lives are your higher self. Your higher self is almost like this massive umbrella under which all of your other incarnations are. I believe in parallel lives. It's not just past lives. I believe we, through our oversoul templates, can be experiencing parallel realities. This is our divinity, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the very reason I'm here for. Yes, I'm a starseed on a mission. Yes, I'm an activator of other starseeds, and I'm activating people's light languages. But my first and foremost priority is to connect myself to my own soul and help others do the same. Because this is how we claim our divinity. When we connect with our very essence, we become invincible. Because then you feel like nothing really can knock you down. No other people's opinions, no other people's expectations, nothing really. Because you know what? You've probably been through all of that and more. You've been through some crazy experiences. You could probably write blockbuster Hollywood scenarios just out of the history of your soul. For those of you who've experienced Akashic Records, you know how fascinating our own stories are. And your soul has been with you through all of it. Whether you were a victim or a perpetrator, whether you were a being of light or whether you were utterly dark, we've been through all. Some of us had more lifetimes, some of us had less lifetimes, but we've been through it all. And the key to your own divinity, your own ascension code, is to claim all of it and still have this divine love to both your other incarnations and this incarnation here. So this is what I want to talk to you about today. Beyond just any language, it's just that. It's about the language of your soul. So let me just catch up with you a little bit with more stuff. So Frederick is asking, how do I open blue avians to raise frequency? We actually had blue avians a week ago in my membership, classes, which is the Quantum Club. We've had a channeled Q&A channeled by my husband Aaron, and it was absolutely beautiful. And I know that blue avians are very keen to communicate with humans. There is a key to connecting with blue avians in particular. Blue avians combine the divine masculine and divine feminine element. So they don't have a gender, they don't have a division. And as such, they represent this divine union frequency. And once you connect with and integrate your divine feminine and masculine within you, which means forgiving your mother, forgiving your father, forgiving any feminine and any masculine that hurt you, your connection with blue avians is very easy. Blue avians embody this higher dimensional frequency, the frequency of peace, the ambassadors of peace, which is a very beautiful frequency. And I loved swimming in the frequency last week in the Quantum Club. I know we will have them again. Their frequency is key now as we're moving as humanity to this divine union. But again, look what it means. It means divine masculine and divine feminine integration. Same. Forgiveness, love. That's what we're here for. It's not so much about, connecting to this galactic race and what language do I speak. And it's all exciting. I teach all of this. I connect to various races. Yet I'm here to tell you the actual path to ascension for us as individuals, as collectives, is this immense love and integration of all our aspects. Dark and light, Pleiadian, Lyran, Reptilian, Draconian, whatever you've been. Same with human stuff. Is actually claiming it all and learning that this is all good. That no matter what your soul's been through, it all happened for a reason, and loving all these experiences. So this is how we can really, really integrate it all. Okay, let's see what else you guys are saying before we get back on track with how to activate your soul's language. Okay, so we've got, lots of people saying, Connie says that I've had both chills and tears many times upon hearing light language. That usually happens when those memories awaken, memories of different incarnations, especially when you hear the language that was familiar to you in one of your lifetimes. This is something what really can help with actually discovering your soul history. And by the way, it's important to understand your soul history. And those who are joining me here on TikToks are definitely aware that I teach about different races and give you examples of different languages. So it's all good. It's great to be connecting to many beautiful races. It really is important to discover your soul's history, but it's even more important to integrate it all as you're connecting to your soul. I've got a question here. Are the blue avians safe to connect? Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. They're not easy to connect. Unless you're a blue avian starseed, then it's probably easier. They're not easiest ones to connect. They're very high vibrational, but they're very safe to connect. Literally beautiful frequency, very, very peaceful. You feel really peaceful. I would love to do some future session where I'm going to transmit blue avian energy. I probably do it together with my husband, Aaron, because I want to transmit it, but not in the form of language. I speak blue avian language, but blue avian language is not the most peaceful language in itself. I've got the kind of variation that sounds like some cuckoo, like a bird. I feel like if you just transmit it without the sound, it would probably be easier on your conscious mind, because it's beautiful frequency, but when you hear in the form of language, it can actually be so strange that you won't be able to get your conscious mind around that. Okay, someone asked, how do you work with me? I'll tell you about different options of working with me at the end. But for now, let's get back to some more insights that I want to share with you, how to activate your own light language. So as you guys know, I'm a light language activator. I'm the galactic linguist. I speak all these different light languages, and I share this gift and I teach other people how to do it. And when I say teach, it's not actually teaching. It's actually activating. So I bring different galactic energies, and with the power of my intention and the person's intention, we do a light language activation of the galactic or Lemurian or Atlantean languages, or languages of any beings of light. So in order to activate a normal language, normal light language, all you've got to do is you've got to bring the energy and connect to the energy of those beings, and then the memories awaken. So when the strong spiritual energy of particular beings of light is present, your memories just come online, and then it comes in the form of sound. You have to open your mouth. You have to get over the conscious mind saying, is it right? Am I making it up? Am I saying it correctly? You just need to let it flow. That's one of the biggest obstacles to activating any light language, is that. And this is basically the recipe and formula. There's no secrets. I know that there are some light language teachers out there, because I've come across students who came to me after pursuing some course where someone tells them that in order to activate a light language, you have to call upon 4 elements and go to X dimension and all of that. It's not necessary for galactic languages, not necessary for any of the terrestrial languages or languages of any other incarnations that you've experienced. All you need to do, simple formula: intention, contact with energy, open your mouth. 3 elements. That's it. However, how to activate the language of your soul, that is actually not that easy. It's simple, but not that easy. I wish there was an activation to do that. I wish it was a case of just clicking, magically bringing the energy, and bang, the language comes on. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. So I will be having a big session on Monday for my light language students about the language of the soul. And there will be an activation, but it's impossible to activate the language of your soul via some external energy. Just think about it. This is the language of your higher self. This is your essence. I cannot really bring your essence, especially not in a group setting. It happened to me once in an individual work with a client who was really struggling to express herself. Her throat chakra was so blocked, she could not express her higher self, even though her higher self was waiting for her. But she was so wounded that connection didn't come online. You know what I did? That one person's higher self language, her higher self prompted me to express it. And I started singing to that person. And it was a beautiful moment, because I started expressing, mirroring her higher self. And then she finally reconnected with her higher self. But the process of reconnecting with your higher self is a process of radical self-love. Let me say that again. Connecting with your higher self is a process of radical self-love. Love that is beyond any fuck up, beyond any mistake you've made, beyond any trauma that you've experienced, beyond any hurt, beyond any role, beyond anything that you're experiencing. When you can love all of you like nobody else will love you, I can tell you no other person will ever love you the same way as you can love your soul and like your soul loves you. That is when the light language of your soul comes online. And for me, the language of my soul, which isn't the prettiest language out there, let me tell you, my soul is wild. It doesn't sing in tune. When I sing other languages, I can sing in tune. When I use my conscious mind, I was trained as a musician, I can sing. But when my soul comes expressing herself, cover your ears because it's wild. But my soul language activated when I have connected through shedding density after density, trauma, karma, past lives, all the stories that I've been through. And this process took me several months. And this is not an easy path, but this is a path of ascension. You can do it in many different ways. Some people go through shamanic initiations and plant medicine. Others go through a path of ancestral clearing and past life clearing, like I've done. Some people may go through Kundalini awakening. There is many different pathways, but it's all a path of love and patience and love and more patience and more love. When you discover all these blockages, all these limitations, all these hurts, all these pains, and yet you clear it all, you release it all, and you know, this is not me. You know, that past life when I was a murderer, that's not me. This childhood trauma that my, I don't know, parents or grandparents imposed on me, that's not me either. That's just something that happened. The mistake that I've made in my business, the hurt that I imposed on other people, perhaps through relationships or through work, that's not me either. I am love, I am light, I am my higher self. That's the secret, that you love yourself despite all of it. And once you do, guess what? The language of your soul comes online. Mine came online a day after I reconnected with my higher self, which was, as I said, a long process. It started from trying to clear some blockages. It started with a desire to manifest the life of my dreams, the life of peace, not stress, the life of ease and not struggle. It came in the process of having to go through a loss of my previous business, my previous identity, coming across a lot of hate, a lot of blame for mistakes that I've made. When I found love for myself, despite all of these stories, despite stories that other people were spinning about me, despite me reflecting those stories in my head, oh my goodness me, what a beautiful life I've got now. You know, and I'm not talking about anything external. It's not about the car you drive or, you know, I've got a 20-year-old car at the moment, barely an aspirational thing. But you know what? My life inside is beautiful. My peace is amazing. I wake up every morning grateful for all I've got, and I attract exactly what I want to attract into my life. And yes, if a brand new car was something that I wanted, then I could manifest that as well. But you know what? I live in Costa Rica at the moment, and blending in is more of a priority than flashing out. So that's how it all works. Let me catch up with your comments, guys. Let me know if you've got any questions, because I think pretty much when it comes to soul language and activating soul language, that's the basics. But if you have any questions about light language in general, about your higher self, how to connect to your higher self, I welcome any of your questions. Please let me know. If you have enjoyed this transmission so far, there's more to come. I've got a special surprise for you as well. Then please share it forward and let me know. Frederick says it's all a path of love. Absolutely. That's all all the ascended masters were teaching us, was a power of love and forgiveness. Yeah, Shelley says such a beautiful message about the importance of shadow work and the other side of it. Yes, shadow work sounds a bit murky. And for those of you who don't know what shadow work is basically recognizing what triggers us and recognizing where it comes from. Because just the fact that you get annoyed at certain behavior in your partner or your child or your boss or your colleague or an employee, that's just the surface level. Then what you've got to do is an investigation to what it actually is and what it actually means. Where does it come from? Does it come from past life? Does it come from something ancestral? Does it come from my old trauma and karma? Well, that's something to investigate and something really beautiful. So if you have any more questions or comments, please let me know. Let me answer one more thing. Is it possible not to have a light language? To sum it all up, I believe the answer to this question is no. Everybody's got a light language in them. It's just a matter of actually unlocking it, of actually coaxing it out and allowing yourself to express. Whether you're expressing an extraterrestrial energy, whether you're expressing your higher self, it always takes courage to express, because our expression has been put under a lot of suppression. That's even like, an opposite, expression and suppression. We've been suppressed in our expression. We've been told it's not safe, or we're going to make a fool out of ourselves when we express ourselves, because people love to ridicule. If you are a bit abnormal or different or unique, you're going to face ridicule. Like, probably at some point in your life, someone's not going to like you. And you know what? This is not your responsibility if someone doesn't like you or doesn't agree with your decision. If we finally stopped giving stuff about who thinks what about us, we would be able to fully express ourselves. But it's not easy, because we are conditioned to be, safety in numbers. That's our human mentality, and that's absolutely normal. And as such, we want to be safe. Well, expression doesn't feel safe, but in fact, it is safe. It is safe because your soul never leads you astray. It's not like some external God or some external mentor who can make mistakes. Your soul does not make mistakes. Everything is a path of evolution, and everything happens to you for your highest good. It's not martyrdom, it's not sacrifice. It's pure pleasure, bliss, and ease, even if you're going through challenges. Just looking at comments here, I'm connecting with Lyrans and wondering how to make a stronger connection. So can you let me know what you mean by a stronger connection? What's missing in this connection? Because you say you're connecting. So what would you like more from this connection? And what type of Lyrans you connecting to? Let me know, because there are Lyran avian race that look like angels, big wings. And then there is a Lyran feline race that look like what most people think Lyrans are, just the felines, but there's two different races. So let me know, and then I can clarify. Cindy says, I've been recently activated. Light language of your soul just flows. Absolutely, that's exactly what it is. Okay, any more questions here? I'm just waiting for the clarification on the Lyrans. Okay, Lena says, I'm still working on believing I'm not, that it was just a situation. Grow on forgiving myself and stuff I didn't go wrong, sound wrong, but it's like that. It's a process, Lena. It's not an instant. And we love activations. And I've got beautiful activations, but you know what activations are? They are the catalyst, they're the trigger. We still, after the activation, which works like a magic, we still have to go through a process usually. And by the sound of it, you're going through that process. You're going through that process of connection, that process of integration. And this isn't easy, but it's very, very rewarding. So pat yourself on the back and perhaps try and connect with your soul, who will be with you, witnessing you. Because you see, at the very bottom, at the very end, is of this shadow work. This is what awaits. That's your reward. If you are in the middle of your shadow work, and some people do it quite efficiently and quickly, depends what energetic tools you've got available, and depends how much you're ready for. Some people do it for absolute years. I've had a very accelerated path of integration, and I've done it in a few months. Some people probably can do it even quicker. For me, it took, I would say, around 4 on 6 months. But when I'm talking 4 on, sometimes I was knocked in bed for days when I was integrating. It was really strong on my body. My whole diet changed. Density after density, like every weekend was just spent on shedding another layer, going to the Akashic records, going through ancestral patterns, tracing ancestral patterns. It was full-on work, but I've done it because I really wanted to do it. And what waits for you at the end is your soul, your pure soul connection. So when I talk about soul activation and activation of the language of your soul, I talk about decluttering that connection between you and your soul. And genuinely, guys, this is most important. I can see this is the question about the Lyran connection or mantids. I will promise I'll do another session just about different extraterrestrial races. And for those of you who are really interested in different ET races and connecting with them deeper, I've got the Quantum Club, which, by the way, I'm starting in about 20 minutes. It's our weekly meeting where we are connecting to various races. Today we've got the Orions, the Mintaka race, which is really beautiful. And I don't even know what they've got in store for us. My husband and I will be channeling them. They'll probably have some upgrades. And this is something we do every week. But today, I want to encourage you to cultivate the most important connection you've got. All these ETs can help you with that, because you know the galactic guys you're connecting with, they're like the ascended master of their race. And they are here to guide you through the path of ascension. But your higher self connection is absolutely key, is the number one. Even if you never connect to any other external entities, it may not feel as glamorous. But goodness me, when you connect with your soul, you will not even need to connect with anybody else. You'll be connecting for lessons, for extra information, for joy, for different perspective, but your guidance will come from your sovereign soul. The rain looks so peaceful, says that mode. Yes, I didn't even notice it started to rain. It doesn't look like it's raining there. It just kind of missed it up behind me. Okay, guys, if you have any more questions about the higher self, let me know in the comments, or about light language. I will respond shortly, but I've got to shoot. But before I do, there's one more thing I want to announce. I've got a light language course starting, 3 new sessions. Sorry, the light language course is recorded. It's a full-on 16 sessions course, but included are 3 new live sessions. And the first one is on 20th of December. And it's going to be exactly about soul. And this is going to be more detailed than in this setting of, live session on open platforms. I'm going to have a presentation. I'm going to lead you through the activation to connect even more with your higher self. For any of you who are interested in any other races, any other activations, we've got Solstice sale on starting just now. We've had a pre-sale on to our email list, so you might have taken advantage of that. But if you haven't been on our email list, Solstice sale, everything 30% off, is something that that will be on until the 23rd of December. And you can go on bit.ly/AOD Solstice. I'm going to put a link underneath. The coupon code is Solstice. Everything is 30% off. There's a light language course. There's a couple of highest self activations, which are just $22 each. One is called claim your divine gift and activate your soul's essence. It's really powerful because you going through activating all the different iterations of yourself and claiming gifts from all these incarnations. And the other one is just purely clearing all the debris, separating you from your higher self. There's many other galactic products. There's the Akashic Records course. Fill your boots up until solstice. bit.ly AOD solstice. bit.ly AOD solstice. For those of you who are on TikTok, you just click on the link in my bio. By the way, on TikTok now you can't say link in bio in text because those comments are blocked. So when you see me say rhymes with Ohio, that means link is in bio. It's like Cockney rhyming slang. So thank you so much for today. Don't forget the solstice sale, 30% of everything. And I hope to see you. For some of you, I'll see you in about 5 minutes in the Quantum Club. And for others, hopefully I see you maybe on the light language activation, or maybe I'll be your guide in one of the higher self activations that you're going to purchase on the solstice sale. So thank you so much for connecting with me today. One last thing, do take time in the following week or so to connect to your soul. Please cultivate that relationship. It's coming to the slow time of the year. This is a beautiful time to connect with your higher self. Wishing you all the best. Thank you